Okay, so I'm going to begin with, I guess, this batch 10. Wish me luck. Okay, I need a break. It's way too hot in here. Whew. So here I am a few days later. I know I was supposed to take a quick break, but that break took a little longer. I'm going to. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm going to finish up this batch of 10, and then I'll start that batch of 10, and hopefully I can keep going without taking any more breaks. But I will say though, my wrists do need to take a break because that is a lot of fine tuning here on these guys. Without further ado, I'm gonna shake my paint without shaking the camera away. So that's all the eyes done. I have gone off the edge a little bit, but that's perfectly fine because when I go to dry brush, as is, I don't know if I said this before, but it'll just pick out the higher lips around the eye sockets and blend them back in. So the blue evil glow of my snow themed like Death Guard army of pocketwalkers here will look alright. So I gotta let that paint there dry because it's still a little wet, and I did use quite a bit of layer paint. So while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and start this side, and we'll be... Okay, it's been enough ample time in me watching a couple episodes of cartoons. It's time to get out the good old medium dry brush. And for this, I'll be using Fortress Gray. I have no idea what the equivalent is of some of these renamed Games Workshop Citadel paints are nowadays, but while I still got mine that are usable, I'll use them. Oh, hang on. Start on this side. That's the dry brush done. So, let's get this brush cleaned up anyway. Next step, what was I going to do? Right, I'm going to paint them. I'm going to do these guys up in blue, and these ones over here in red for their clothing. Now, there are little, like, ring metal, like, little pieces like rings and pouches and stuff. I'll pick those out at a later date. But again, this is just to show what real speed painting is really all about. Where did I put that? There that is. And yeah, where was I? Yeah, speed painting. Really wanted to show like the real meaning of speed painting, where you just basically go and you speed paint on different colors. I am kind of cheating because I am taking a little bit of breaks, but a true speed painter would just sit here, look at these 20 and just be like slap, 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 do the next color or whatever, and then be done. So, that's all the clothing done up. You may have noticed I might have missed some spots, which I've also noticed I missed some spots on the skin and, quite frankly, also the cloth. I'm not too worried about that because once I'm done doing up all the metal work and gonna paint in the gut work on it, what was it? This guy and I think, yep, this guy. They're going to get a, um, yeah, they're going to be getting, or no, I'll leave the gut works till late last. But these guys are going to be pretty much getting a complete black badab wash over the entire model. So any of that white sticking out is going to get covered up in the black wash anyway, so I'm not too worried. And like I said before, at some point I'll probably go back to these models and finish up their little finer details, but that's not what this video is about. Okay, we're now on the next day, so my break was longer than anticipated. So we'll start doing up the metal bits now. Where is my metal? There it is. Give it a shake. So that's all the middle bits now done. Going through some of the models as the paint dried, I am going to go back and touch up a few spots here, really really quick off camera. And then we'll move on to doing the wash. Okay, that's been enough time. I have gone and painted up this guy's mallet. I'm like, that doesn't look very metal. So I made it out of wood, and it's a metal spike I painted. But like I said, this is just to quickly get these done and move along. I just realized something. Why do I have this guy in that pile? He goes over here. You go back to your home. So now the next process is going to be the fun one. And where did I put it? There it is. I'm going to badab black the entire set of the models. And I could do a Devlin mud wash too. That might make it too brown. Make it look like these guys have been in the frozen worlds too long. Kind of idea, right? Okay, I'm gonna let these 10 dry. Should probably get them back in the camera view. Scoop them over. I think they'll wash a good hour. Now, I am going to point out, because you may have noticed, that some of the horns got washed, while some did not. Reason for this is it's kind of experimenting a little bit on the go. Same thing with some of the weapons. Like, some of the weapons got a wash, some of them didn't. So I want to see how things are going to look. Because afterwards, these weapons are going to get a bit of typhus corrosion put to them. Some of them, not all of them. Mainly like little blades and whatnot. So yeah, I'll come back to those in an hour. Now that the wash lighter's pretty much dried, I'm going to go and take the guys with their exposed guts and paint up their guts. And then I'll go around and do some typhus corrosion on the blades. And the blade on that guy too. Normally I would just kind of like stop with the effects, but it's kind of like gnawing at my brain. It could just look a little bit nicer. But this is pretty much what you're going for. Just a quick couple of paint jobs, splash on some effects, and be done. I think that's how most towards speed painters do it. I think. At any rate. Next up, the typhus corrosion, the blade works. So we got this guy with the blade. He's got a blade on that. He's also got like a blade, and that's it. So that's that. Now as for the horns, I wanted to see how well the horns would look while it's got some of that black on it, and quite frankly, just doing an overall wash on it. I'm not too impressed with the details, so I'm going to take some white and clean up over the dab black on this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. I'm not going to go too crazy, I'm just going to sharpen up the edges a little bit, you know. For that, I'll need my trusty, really old edition Citadel Fine Detail brush. So those are all done. I didn't go too crazy and make them jet white. I did leave some of the recesses alone because it did make it look a little nicer, I will admit. But no, the overall black on the whole horn work just wasn't cutting it. Okay. Now I'm going to do up the rest of the guts on those two. And then the blood. And I'm going to throw a little bit of those rods on the back of these guys. There we go. That should help pull away from some of the basic colors. It should anyway. Just about done. Overall, for these 10 guides, it must have been about, not counting the breaks and the days that went by in between painting, it's been about 20-30 minutes at least. I'll have to time myself next time. So, I think that paint's dried enough. Where's my blood of the blood god? Just gonna cover up a spot I just forgot to paint. There we go. And I'll let that all good and dry, and then we'll start the bases. Okay, now for the fun part. Putting the base on the models. Or not the base. The painting of the base. Tell I'm tired. I gotta work tonight. Now I'll let that dry for a couple minutes, and I will move on to the last, well, second last bit of the base work for this batch. Okay, now for the second final part. We put on the Allegran earth over the bases. And now to let that dry, and I'll come back and do the bits of the base. So everything's nice and dried, and it feels like a storm's coming in because all my good natural light has just pretty much disappeared. So I'm going to finish up these 10 with the last bit that they need, and then I'm going to put them aside. And I'll start the next batch of 10 over here, and I won't say anything, I'm just going to paint them away and have it fast forward with just a little tune playing. I just wanted to kind of explain the step process I was doing with these ones. Now, without further ado, Okay, let those dry and go back with another layer. Okay, so the first 10 are done, and I'm going to do the last 10. These last 10, I'm not going to speak any words, I'm just going to go ahead and paint them up, so this will just be one big time lapse. And to help time myself, we have my wristwatch, which surprisingly is staying put. But this should give you, the viewers, an idea how long it takes to just do a simple paint job. So without further ado, so here we are, a couple days later from where I last left off. Yeah, basically, I tried to get a little quicker with doing these up and do the time lapse with the watch here. However, I kept knocking the watch down, and it's just not going to work. I got to figure out something better, or maybe do like a recording with the time in the background. when I have the actual studio set up from this temporary rig with the camera bopping up and down from the fan blowing. And it's a very stinking humid day. Also, in my rush, I've missed over a few little things here, and a spot on this guy there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish these up off camera, and then just put the whole army up on display. So sit tight.